White on
See,
white. Wow. That's what
see,
happens when you try to judge a race and what you're next. Like that's what like we're not on opposing teams. Like this is a system that starts with black people and ends with everybody else. And
exactly,
they don't
exactly.
comprehend this like the
Don't
system.
you
It's
know in American history, here's the interesting thing. In American history, you had something called, I believe it was Baker's Rebellion, but don't quote me on that. But there was this rebellion that took place, right? And it was poor whites, it was the whites who were indentured servants, and it was African slaves, and they joined forces. They actually teamed up and raided the, slave masters. They pretty much revolted,
with the
right?
Native American tribes, I'd say, in
Uh,
1676. An armed uprising in 1676, colonial Virginia, led by Nathaniel Bacon, who opposed the
yep, yeah,
governor. The conflict stemmed from a mix of economic discontent, class and racial tensions, and
there
a
we go.
dispute
Yeah.
with Native American tribes.
Right. So that was a coalition of African slaves,
What was a
natives,
coalition? His side or the Native American?
Bacon. He
His actual
led,
rebellion?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He was leading a coalition of, people who was getting oppressed by the colonists, included white people,
Yeah,
black
yeah, yeah.
people, and Indians.
Bacon
Right?
supporters were a diverse group, including landless former indentured servants, poor white
Right.
farmers, and some enslaved Africans who were united by
Right.
their discontent with the elite planters. Wow. Talk
Now
about
listen,
history. Okay,
that's
go
my
ahead.
point.
Yeah.
After that is when the
After his death?
elites, no, after that event, after
Okay.
Bacon's rebellion, the elites said, okay, we have to come up with a racial caste system here and put the poor
Mm.
whites at the top of it so that they will support anything we do as elites.
So class system amongst the bottom,
Amongst
like
the races, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
the
like
stratified,
compartmentalize
yeah,
them.
right.
So like
We need to,
within there, we'll put elitists within there. Okay.
well, we will elevate the poor whites
Yeah.
above the rest so
Yeah.
that they have a loyalty to us and a
Correct.
discontent for everybody else.
They'll police basically everybody for us. Literally now.
Well, well,
Police.
the police force actually evolved out of the. Okay, you're right, but let me just show you the evolution. You're right, but
No,
there's an
yeah, yeah. No, I
evolution
just
to
mean the
that.
concept. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure. I'm
No, no, no,
sure.
but you're actually right. You're
Okay.
literally actually right. You're literally
Okay.
actually right.
Makes sense. I
So,
mean, that's
so
yeah.
from that, they created the whole concept of white, and this whole white supremacy concept of whites are better than blacks. Before everybody kind of was like being
Mm-hmm.
enslaved and wrapped up in indentured servitude, but that was when the elites said, "Nah, we need to divide them along racial lines," even though there was already
Mm.
like national and ethnic tensions being from Europe and Africa. That stuff existed, but the whole racial concept, that's when it got implemented in America. So that's
Mm.
when you'll hear some of the conservatives today, they'll say, only 3% of white people own slaves, and most
Mm.
of the people who own slaves were Jews. This is what the white supremacists, white conservatives
Okay, good.
be trying to say. This is what they try to say, right?
Yeah.
And so they say that to say, why do you blame all white people for slavery? Well, yeah, most whites didn't own slaves, but most whites protected and insulated the
Mm.
system of slavery because they occupied the top. They benefited as a class. You see what I'm saying? But Baker's rebellion was all of them coming together to fight the elites together. But the
Mm.
elites, being as smart as they are, they said, let's divide the lower classes by race. So now the system that was in place by these whites who have been elevated, they were responsible for catching the slaves. It was called slave catchers. So the slave catcher is what evolved into modern day police force because the first police force was put together to catch slaves that ran away, fugitive slave laws and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So
Bounty hunters
bounty hunters.
on
So
some
and
Django
police
shit. Yeah.
and police. A lot of times, like people be acting like black people are like black people really don't hate nobody like that. Like as
They
much
hate
as white folks
themselves
did,
more than anything,
more
bro.
than
More than
anything.
anything, they
You
hate
know what I'm saying?
themselves. Yeah.
Black folks love white people, right?
They
Nobody wants
respect
to.
them. I wouldn't say they love them, but they respect them.
Niggas be
Love is
loving
a
them.
strong. Okay.
No, no, no.
Okay.
It's just a thin
They
line.
do.
It's
Okay.
I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna say it like this. Like most black people, even the ones who are revolutionary, are not sitting around saying we want to get them back for slavery.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Niggas
Yeah.
just want to
They
move
want to move
forward
forward.
and be
Yeah. Yeah.
prosperous.
100%. Yeah.
It's on their psyche to think, oh,
Yeah.
they're gonna come after us. They don't
Yeah.
care about that. So
Yeah.
the problem is that they don't like that. This is the
I
point I was
mean, you
making.
see it, right? You see like runaway slaves. They're not trying to
Right.
revolt. They just want to get away.
They're just
They
trying to get
just want to
away.
start over. They want
They
a
just want to
fresh
start
start.
over.
You know,
That's
like
it.
that's the analogy
Nobody
that you
wants revenge. Nobody wants
correct.
revenge.
Unless you don't allow them, then it's like we have no choice but to do it,
Right.
right? But if you
100%.
allow us to just be free, then but that's okay.
100%.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it makes sense.
so the point is that the white folks don't understand that there's not this big upheaval waiting to kill them and destroy them and stuff like that. You just want everybody just want to kind of move forward.
That's guilty though. That's like guilty. They're just paranoid. Like that's their like guilty conscience, right?
Right.
Like that's their own
100%.
internal trauma and fear of like, oh, they're gonna like that's Israel
Right.
and Palestine.
Exactly.
We got to because they're gonna come back and they're gonna do like that's trauma response. Yeah,
Exactly.
as a
And
collective.
really, no, 100%. And really, while everybody's just trying to get along, get move forward, what a lot of the other groups don't understand is that these people will provoke you to
Who's these
act,
people?
the elites. You
Elites.
see,
Okay.
because the elites are running the game on all the races. The point is they
Yeah.
perfect what they're going to do
Yeah.
on the black folks, because that okay, Facebook ads. You know about Facebook ads. You're a businessman. Facebook ads. You create one, you gotta do your A/B test. We're gonna
Yeah.
test to see how good this ad does. If it does
Yeah.
well, we know that's the one we're going
We're
with.
scaling. Yeah.
We scaling it. So the black folks is the tester.
Mm,
Whatever works on them, especially if it works well, that's what we're gonna do to everybody else. Because we know it works on them. And they're
mm,
the group that's probably gonna fight the most. So it's gonna be a cakewalk with everybody else, right?
mm.
So you had the Supreme Court come out yesterday and
And and they're the ones that are more likely to protect everyone else. So if we can destroy them first, it's kind of like Russia.
right,
If we could deplete their resources in a proxy war and get them to destroy themselves, by the
right.
time that happens to everybody else, black people will be like, "Yo, we happened. What
Yeah.
happened when
What
we
happened?
was trying to
Exactly.
tell y'all that this is not a race thing; it's a spiritual thing."
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, so I see that as well.
hmm
Wow, so you almost go after the giant first, and then everything else is easy. I mean, that's like a
Everything else
cakewalk.
is easy. Exactly. So now what the
Mm.
Supreme Court just did was agreed that racial profiling and targeting based on skin complexion is legal in the limited sense that you can, it's Supreme Court, highest court in the land,
Wait, what?
for the purposes of removing illegal immigrants.
Racial, that's how they got it in. Okay, so the racial
Right.
profiling
Yeah.
is
You know what I'm saying?
allowed under the
Yeah.
premise for now of immigration. They
Yeah.
found, okay,
hmm but the thing about that is
ICE and racial profiling. Okay.
black folks used to try to tell everybody, yo, they pulled me over because I was black. Yo, they saw that I was black and they did this. Yo, they
Yeah.
doing this because of the no, because of my complexion. Nobody, you're lying. Get a job. Stop being lazy. Do the right
Okay.
thing. Now
Do
it's
the right
happening.
thing. Yeah, yeah,
Now
yeah.
it's happening to them, and they like, yo, you can't do this. But it's like, yo, they perfected this on black folks already. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The stop and frisk. Yo, what
Mm.
you doing around here? Like, yo, they had laws after slavery called vagrancy laws,
Hold on,
which
bro.
was
Hold on. This is
good, good,
brilliant. I'm fascinated by the
masterful,
elites, bro. Like they're just
masterful,
the way the
masterful.
relentlessness of their ability to create laws. You allow a bunch of immigrants in, and collectively everyone agrees we want them out. So we create laws that are then focused on them. And once they're gone, those laws are still there. And now you just expand on the law. The hardest part was getting the law in. Now it's a matter of
Exactly.
it's
It's
beautiful.
masterful, man. It's
Yeah,
masterful.
that's
Like I said, they're in the
brilliant. They're
business
playing
of running the
chess,
world.
nigga. Yeah,
They're in
it's
the business of running the
decades.
world. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll say this is the law until
Yeah,
they want to change it.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. That's
So
incredible.
it's masterful.
Okay,
You know what I'm
but I
saying?
will give you pushback on the stop and frisk, right? Because I hear this a
hmm
lot, and I think even for us, it's important to distinguish
hmm
because we saw the video of the nigga that stabbed the Ukrainian
hmm
lady on the bus, right?
hmm
That was pretty wild. I think
hmm
there's a distinction that even us amongst black people, I think we should make when it comes to black people
hmm
and niggers.
hmm hmm
Personally, like I feel like
hmm
there's a difference between the two because I've been pulled over. And I think I've had great encounters with cops,
hmm
right? Like I think they
hmm
understand that, like, oh, because I look like a nigga. So, but
hmm
by the time they start interacting with me, I don't give off that fear energy. I'm like, I know
hmm
my rights. I'm chilling. Like, what did I do? If I did something
hmm
wrong, I own up to, right?
hmm
But when there's already tension and fear amongst both parties, that's when you start seeing a clash
Hmm.
of like, and then it gets viral, and then that becomes the narrative. And it's like, but that's not everybody. And every class has that. Every race has that. There's
Hmm.
niggas and black people,
Right.
and then there's whites, and every race has a demon side to them.
Right.
And
100%.
but I do notice that they are even now with Elon and the thing you sent me about how the rates and
Hmm.
crime and all that.
Hmm.
There's this still like this intent on outing the black person, like and
Yeah.
demonizing them. And so we're
Yeah.
going back to
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? Like everyone is so angry and they're like, who do we feed to the wolves? And it's
Exactly.
like we just gotta feed
Exactly.
we got and it's like those data points are so jaded because what is crime? I mean, white people are letting fentanyl in, killing 100,000 people a year. Are you not
Exactly.
taking that into consideration? You're not taking big pharma to like all these other maneuvers and ways that people are being killed may not
Hmm.
be as blatant as like crime or whatever.
Hmm.
Where are these guns coming from? What like none of these it's all surface level. And I think when people are desperate, they'll cling to anything. And that's what makes it dangerous. That's what I'm
Right.
realizing how powerful propaganda is and like
Yes.
these
Yes. That's what I keep
shallow
saying.
surface level data like worshipers and like it's like bro no it doesn't work that way like y'all
Stats can
niggas are
be
being
manipulated.
bamboozled. Yeah,
Stats can
absolutely,
stats can be manipulated. Stats can be
absolutely,
manipulated. So
absolutely.
you can take a stat and make it seem one way
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's another way. So when they start pulling out all these stats, it's like for instance, they'd be like black people on welfare. The largest amount of people that's on welfare are poor whites. I seen
yeah.
a TikTok video one time, a white lady said she was getting $8,000 in food stamps a month. I said, who gets $8,000 in food stamps? I never heard. Now I know
That's
I know people that can
wild.
finesse the system. I know some
Yeah,
black folks that'll
that's
finesse the
different
system.
but from being given
Yeah,
8,000.
I never seen no niggas getting no $8,000 checks for food stamp. I ain't never see that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, again, when you look at people like Elon, right, you got to really look at this thing. This guy's a billionaire. They trying to give him a trillionaire package for
Mm,
Tesla. The Tesla's company's like, yo, we trying to make a package that gonna make him a trillionaire, right?
mm,
This guy want to go to Mars. He want to do this. And he's playing these little race relation games about crime stats. Anytime white folks want to do certain things, they'll play these little crime stat games, but they never talk about the crime stats that they're mostly convicted for. Because the other thing is
yeah,
arrest records, it's so many ways to manipulate. Arrest
yeah.
records account for how many people get arrested but not convicted, right?
Mm,
And when you look at the conviction rate, it's almost the same rate as the exoneration rate of black folks who get out of prison because they was exonerated because they used false.
mm,
When you start looking at some of the dudes that have been in there 30, 40 years, 20 years, one white woman said she had a dream that a black man raped her. She had a dream that he raped her. He did 40 years for a dream that a white woman
nah,
had. I
nah,
kid
nah,
you
nah,
not. These are
nah.
real stats. So
Bro,
I'm not trying to pass
false.
it off like, yo, black folks is all like innocent stuff like that. All groups commit crime. But when
Yeah,
there's this whole concept that, the black people are just out here doing all of these crimes, and it's like, man, there's other groups doing bigger crimes and worse crimes. Black folks mostly do poverty crimes. Now that
yeah.
it's the guy who stabbed the girl in the neck.
Wild, man.
Horrible, horrible, of course. But I watched it. I watched it, and I'm saying to myself, like, see, because I'm trained
No,
to
no,
not
I
be
know where you're going,
emotional.
bro. I know.
I'm
Yeah,
not
go
trained
ahead.
to be emotional.
Yeah,
I'm watching it. He's
yeah,
already on the bus.
yeah. No,
He's
no, I'm
already
with you.
there.
I'm with you.
Everybody around him chilling. He's chilling.
Yeah, yeah,
She gets on the joint, and he just automatically
yeah,
stabs her in the neck.
yeah. Multiple times.
Right? Yeah. And I'm saying to myself,
Yeah.
okay, he has schizophrenia, that he's crazy and all that type of stuff. You gotta be careful. Yeah, people, it's crazy.
Ah,
But to me, it seemed like a hit.
f that, bro. Where's Candace Owens and MK Ultra on this one?
Right.
That's what I want to
Right.
know.
That's my point.
Camera right there.
Come on.
Ukrainian white
Come on.
lady.
Exactly. Come
You know
on,
how many
man.
you know how many birds you killing with that?
Exactly.
That's
Ukraine.
sympathy for her, for the Ukrainians, and then you got a
Come
nigga in the
on.
butt. Camera just literally, yeah, it
It's
was
too
Kodak moment.
orchestrated. It's Kodak
Crazy,
moment. And
crazy,
you just do that and they just let
100%.
you off the bus. Everybody just let you off the bus.
Yeah, no, no, I'm with you 100%. And I'm saying it could have been, but like to not even give that a consideration is wild. It shows
Especially in the
how
climate,
reactionary everyone is right now.
especially when it's racial.
Hmm.
Because the elites, I think it was Richard Nixon, one of the presidents, they said, if we can convince the lowest white man that he's better than the best black man, that we can have,
Mm,
that we can keep playing this game forever.
mm.
Because the reality is the elites play a game of divide and rule. It come back from Rome. So anytime there's an opposite a group that's in opposition to them, the key is to try to divide them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you're right. President, that was Lyndon B. Johnson. If you can
Lyndon B.
convince the
Johnson.
lowest white man he's better
There you
than the
go.
best colored man, you won't
Right.
notice you're picking his pocket.
There you
Hell,
go.
give him somebody to look down on and he'll empty his
Exactly.
pockets for you.
There you go. And that's what they doing to white America right now. They're
They're
so
picking their
silly.
pocket.
They
Yeah,
picking your pocket. They're
yeah.
picking your pocket. That's why the middle class is gone. That's why all of the policies that Trump is passing hurts them. Listen, black America is used and the rest of the country is used. They say when white people have a cold, black people get a flu. You see what I'm
Mm,
saying? So we're used to bearing the brunt of what
yeah.
goes wrong when in the economy and stuff like
That's our
that.
genetics. We can take the
We can
worst
do it.
of like of punishment,
Exactly.
but we also have the highest capacity for potential. Like it goes both
Right.
ways.
Go
Yeah.
both ways. They're the ones that's hurting the most and going to hurt the most because this is the type of suffering they haven't seen. You
Yeah, they're not
understand what
even
I'm
they don't
saying?
even know. Yeah, they have no
The
idea.
elites are picking their pockets clean and they're
Mm,
so wrapped up in their bigotry that they can't even see it.
damn.
Because one of the socialization process issues that white people have when they come from Europe is they're very hierarchical. You see, they
Mm.
had so many of their kings and their
Like a class
lords.
system?
Yeah. They're very hierarchical. So they're this is why you hear them obsess about who's the alpha and who's beta and who's sigma and all this, because they're very
Mm.
hierarchical. You see what I'm saying?
Mm. That's how that makes sense. Like everything's technical and everything's identification of like,
Right.
yeah, it makes sense.
So whoever is in control of their people, right? They're going to
Systematic. That's
stop.
what I was
Yeah,
gonna say.
they're going to
Yeah.
go with whoever's running things. Most of them,
Mm.
right? They're not the type that's going to be like, we want justice and stuff like that. When they did that, they broke away from Britain, right? They say, oh,
Mm.
we broke away, we revolted because they were mistreating us. What's the
Yeah.
first thing they did when they made the treaty with Britain? They
Yeah.
decided they weren't going to take any kings. They
Mm.
literally at the Treaty of Paris between the United States, and Britain, they agreed that no US citizen will ever bear a title of nobility, right? So they came right back. They agreed with the British that they didn't have a king. But yet and
Mm.
still every time there's a king in England or a queen in England, they come over here and get all of the praises. You see what I'm saying? So
Mm.
the point I'm making is they're hierarchical, they're used to hierarchy, and the elites are picking the average white person pocket clean. They don't care because they so wrapped up in thinking the immigrants taking all of this stuff and the black people going to commit all these crimes against them that they don't realize the elites are just finessing them because they're the actual group who can actually be empowered to do something about it. So
Yeah.
the elites is finally removing them from the board so that they're not a factor anymore. And what they
Mm.
don't realize is the elites care more about class at this point than they do race. So if you ain't got the money, you don't matter at all. Doesn't matter what your skin complexion is. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
they
No,
don't
no,
understand that.
no. I wanna go back on the elites because I just dove deep into like the All In podcast and they hosted
Mm,
an incredible
mm,
conference.
really?
And when you say elites, those are
That's the
Alex Karp,
elites.
Elon Musk. You
Yeah,
got Jamal, J. Sack. But when I'm watching and I'm listening, I'm be honest, bro. Alex Karp, is it Alex Karp? Is he the one?
Palantir CEO.
Yeah, Palantir. Alex
Yeah,
Karp.
yeah. He's actually black.
He's half black. Yeah, he's half
Yeah,
black,
yeah,
half German. I think he
yeah,
said he's
yeah.
half German. But I'll be honest, bro. Like when I listen to them speak, they're brilliant. Like
Absolutely.
their diagnosis of society and the issues and his stances when it comes to like being pro America. And I wasn't. I don't know. I was confused, bro, because I'm like I've watched a lot of videos and I've gone down the rabbit hole with him, especially with
Mm.
his like beliefs. But I don't disagree with much in terms of like the substance of what they're saying.
What's the substance of what they're saying? If you
So
can run it down.
yeah, so well, I mean, they all like Tucker Carlson was there, Elon, Mark Cuban. I mean, they had the whole. But Alex Karp is like they're on the same page with us. We've had conversations. He's very much aligned with like what the problem is, and they identify with like the race, the division, like they're not either. These niggas are diabolical and they're just speaking truth, but in the back, they're on some
Which
other.
they are. Which they are.
But that's what I'm saying. Are they? Like,
Yeah.
is that because they seem like they're just very macro, right? They just think big in terms of like globally. That's why a lot of them are like depressed and miserable because they don't really focus on micro. They don't really
Yeah.
focus on their own individual selves. but like they have the same concerns we have, and they don't come off as like villains. They come off as individuals that just have different ideas and are in positions to impose that, right? Like I'm not I'm more curious than I am afraid or intimidated or
Mm,
concerned with them,
mm,
right? Like even with Palantir, these are incredible products. Like even
mm,
with Starlink and Elon, these
mm,
are products that someone has to make.
right.
And anyone that disagrees with that is insane. Like if you don't think
Yeah.
Palantir is necessary or a product like that, given where we're going with AI and technology and so like you need that, right? I think it's the people that they don't necessarily agree with behind. And I've said this multiple times, but even in listening to his perspective, like he's open to skepticism. Like he's like,
Mm,
yeah, I like you when you're skeptical. Like be skeptical of me because then that allows me to like grow whatever. Just you can't be anti Palantir because then you don't really make it doesn't make any sense. Like, and I think that's what you see a lot of with like these journalists like Whitney Webb and Redacted or Breaking Points. When you're just skeptical and there's no recognition of like this is actually necessary, like Palantir is necessary, AI is necessary, super like these are inevitables. Like if you can't even agree on that, then you're not really progressive. You're not really a futurist. You're not really trying to push society forward. It's almost like then what are you trying to do? And then the only alternative is to destroy and not build, right?
mhm,
And
mhm,
so I think when you don't engage on that level, you remove any opportunity to have an actual conversation with these individuals, to
mhm,
actually understand them. And a lot of it's
mhm,
just based on assumptions, not on what he's doing now. There's nothing you can look at that he's doing now that you're like, it's all based on future preconceived assumptions of like, this is what they're gonna do. This is what
yeah, I mean,
this is what they're gonna try to this is it's like, bro, how do you if you judge an individual like that, you'll go nowhere in life. You know what I mean? Like there has to be
but
some benefit of the doubt or at least facts that you're bringing
yeah,
into the table, bro. And I get it. Like a lot of their qualities, yeah, it's concerning for sure, but they're flawed like us, except they
yeah,
don't allow their flaws to stop them from growing and innovating, right? Like
right.
there has to be a balance of of give and take. And that's where I'm like, I like these guys. Like I like what
Yeah,
they're building. Like they're
yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah, yeah,
Starlink, like Power, like
yeah,
these are all incredible innovations. And I think
right.
we should take more time admiring this work and
Mhm,
stop making it so personal, right? Because
mhm,
then you can set up the guardrails. Then you can have actual conversations of like, these are and they'll actually listen. But when you're just
mhm,
attacking people, you're almost like
mhm,
creating your own fate. You're almost
mhm,
like, you know what I mean? Like that's my take. Again,
mhm,
and all I mean that it was incredible, man. Like I went through the
mhm.
whole thing, and we could kind of break that down. That was kind of like the goal, honestly, of today. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, we did. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
With the Charlie Clerk, I was baffled, bro. I
It all
couldn't
fits though.
believe.
It all fits
Yeah,
though.
I know. No, they're all everything interconnected. But I was
Yeah,
just like, that was I couldn't believe it. I literally just 2 seconds before we got on, I just
yeah.
pulled it up and
Oh, somebody just sent it to me. But here's the thing though, right? Like on one end, I completely agree with what you're saying. The entrepreneur in me, the ambition that I have, the being a futurist, having that perspective, like I agree. Like when I'm looking at when I'm examining things, I'm looking at these guys who are already in that space and
exactly.
looking at, how they move into different things like that. But also we gotta consider this, right? None of these guys are there by accident. They are not the geniuses that they are marketed to be. And that's not me hating, it's
That's
just a
actually
fact.
interesting, bro. He mentioned that.
You know what I'm saying? He
Okay.
mentioned that? No,
He
no,
mentioned
okay,
that.
okay. But
He
so
mentioned
here's
that. He's
the
like that. He went down the line of like the things that people are skeptical of him, and they're like,
Mhm.
and he challenged like, yo, if you think it's so easy, do it. Just you remember that's how you ended the
Yeah.
podcast last week
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
yesterday. He was
Yeah.
like, just do it. You couldn't. He's
Right.
like, you can't create the team we got. You couldn't create the idea. We've been doing this for 20 years. We've been trying to build this out. Like
Yeah.
he's like,
But here's
do
the
it.
thing
Be
though.
me.
Here's the thing though. Here's the thing about all of that. Most technology that we have today is uh demilitarized and marked for a consumer consumption. So like most of the tech has already been developed like 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago. You know what I'm saying? By the military, by DARPA and all these other type of black budget programs that exist. So by the time we start seeing companies and these entrepreneurs that came from here and came from there, like most stuff gets completed that way, and then it may go to the collegiate level, which are MIT or, so you have like a lot of college students and stuff that's actually
Yeah,
designing. Like that's what,
Stanford, like
yeah,
Harvard. That's the whole point.
right. And
Facebook. Yeah,
that's where the internet was mostly developed. Even right now, there's an email service that I'm using called Billion Email. right? And it's an open source, free emailing system. So you don't have to use MailChimp or none of the other email delivery joints. Free. It's open source, developed by MIT. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So by the time these guys become these people who are going to push this technology out, there's a pipeline between the government, the collegiate level, and private money, VC money, where they've already handpicked who they're going to select to represent these technologies that they're presenting to the people. If you trace back, like let's take Elon Musk for example, he didn't found Tesla, he didn't start Tesla,
Yeah, we know
never,
Bill Gates didn't either. I mean,
none of them did.
most of them, yeah,
You know, so the people who actually built Tesla, he sued them when he bought into the company
yeah,
so that he could be labeled as the founder, right? So, oh, so now it's like Elon, he's so brilliant. It's like, I mean,
yeah. You gonna make me defend the elites?
no,
That's crazy. No,
no,
I
no,
got
no, no, no,
pushback on this because I
no,
hear
no,
what you're saying,
no,
but
no.
like, no, I hear what you're saying, but there's it's if I'm the government, I'm creating incredible products. I have a system, not just for the poor, but for the most brilliant of minds that I feel will be best suited to serve this product.
But
And so
that's my point. They're not the
with
best
people, but
minds.
I'm saying the best minds that are aligned with our programming, whatever you want to say. Like there's a process, a system. Whether you go to public school and you become, you know, a manufacturer, a worker, or where,
Mm.
or you go to Harvard, there's systems in place, right? And so I still don't think you can discount the individuals that are serving these companies because they're chosen for a reason, right? You don't just recruit Captain America and put him. You saw qualities in them that you want to train and mentor that you believe will allow you to give you the best success with the company you're in. Like that's just these companies don't blow up like that. Like, yeah, sure, they maybe had that networking, but that's part of being a successful businessman. You have to network, you have to connect with other brilliant individuals or corporate. Like there's no just getting there by yourself. That doesn't exist. And so even with when it comes to Bill Gates or Elon, that's my point. They focus on macro, right? So they're not even capable of coming up with ideas from the ground up because they don't really care for the individual. It's the individuals that make those products and then they see it and they say, "Oh, wow, I could scale this." Like it's already an idea that's already been out there. Now I could take it to the next level. And that's where they thrive because they're
Yeah, they're
macro
exploiters. Yeah,
thinkers.
because they're exploiters. They're
Is it
exploiters.
exploiting?
It's pure exploitation. I'm gonna tell you why it's pure exploitation, right?
Hold
Here's
on,
why I
hold on, hold
said,
on, hold on.
mhm.
What Tesla? Do you think it would be what it is now if it wasn't for Elon, or you think those original owners would have taken it to where it is, and vice versa with Bill Gates? You think those it would have been regardless?
It'd have been further. It'd have been way different. Check this
Yeah.
out.
So we agree to disagree. Okay, that's interesting.
When they
Okay, that's
first,
good.
I talked to the original owners. I was in talks with them when it was first being built. The first Tesla models used solar panels. It wasn't no charging stations. They had solar
Mm,
panels on the vehicle so that it could directly
the
charge
first
from the sun.
models.
The first models, yes, the first models had solar panels on them, and they would take energy from the sun and use that to power the vehicle. We know that's a reality. You know why? Because when I was in Dubai Expo 2021, went to the China exhibit, China has a vehicle that they release it for the future like that. It's solar panels on it. It
Oh,
gets
that
its
makes sense.
energy
Yeah.
from, and it's amphibious. It'll go into the water and you can drive it in
No, I've
underwater.
seen that too.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So the point I'm making is what it is now is watered down, stripped down to make it so that here's what I gotta say before we even really
Mm,
go into that. Technology in America is being suppressed by the major corporations. The tech
mm,
that they're putting out is less than 1% of what is really been patented and available for the consumers right now. They don't want to put it out because then there'd be no point that you have to create money, wealth, scarcity to control a population and to get the population to work and do the things you want them to do to control them. They've killed off all of major corporations, killed off all the brilliant inventors who invented so many different solutions. They kill them off or they take their patents and they patent it and they lock the patents away so that nobody else can come with these solutions and do anything about
mm,
them. What I'm saying is I'm not knocking the businessmen for being good businessmen. What I'm saying is there's a collaborative, corrupt system that is wicked and insidious that's in place to hold humanity back. The technology that they putting out isn't a fraction of what is literally been patented and available. They're holding it back. So
mm.
these are not even the best iterations of the
Damn.
technology. that's really available. So that's the only point I'm getting at. That's
Yeah,
what makes me say
so
to
you're
them,
saying like the guy who made the powered car. You're saying, for example, if that's brought to the market and this could be a flaw of capitalism where you're like, we can't make money off this. So let's
exactly,
kill the dude, let's patent
exactly.
it, we'll lock it in a
And
vault.
lot, that's what's happened.
Nobody's ever, and
Do
we
your
got to focus
research.
on products that are gonna make us
Right.
uh
That's my point. That's my point.
shit.
Just research that. Research all of the inventors
And then it only
who
benefits the elite's money as opposed to the people. Because innovation is supposed
exactly,
to help the people. If you could take
exactly.
water and make a car move,
Come on.
everybody gets a car. But then nobody, the elites don't make, they don't profit out.
It's
At
like
least,
pharma. It's just like the medical field.
yeah, it's like big
Why do
pharma.
you want to make why do you want to make a cure and then
Mm,
is going to continuously buy the drug? So you're only going to treat the symptoms because that's good business. You see, so
mm.
sometimes I can't. I'm a businessman, but sometimes I can't side with just something that's just good business when it's against humanity. When we look at Prophet Muhammad say
Because,
so, right?
that's not good business. I mean, that's because good business is doing both. It's being able to benefit while also making money, right? Like that's, you're
That's
exploiting.
ideally.
It's
That's
almost
why I
like,
said exploit. That's why I said
you
exploitation.
are. Yeah, it's like
That's
you're
why
a
I'm saying
con artist. You're
exploitation.
not actually focusing on solutions. You're focused
Yeah.
on just, it's almost like yeah, like the Mark Cuban thing,
Yeah.
the cost plus drugs. It sounds good, but like in reality, why not just cure, why
Want to
not
just
just
kill the problem.
promote, yeah, why not just cure big, like why not just an alternative for big pharma, like medicines in general. You see the drug epidemic in America, like that's the real solution, but they
Right.
won't focus on it. They'll focus on how do we, yeah, they'll focus on undermining
Right.
PBMs or whatever,
Right.
or whatever, but not actually talk about
Solving the problem.
why are we taking these money drugs to begin with? Why are we,
Exactly.
yeah,
So that's my point. That's why I say it's exploitation. It's not really about the business. It's not really about competitive competition of the best businessman with the best idea. That's a lie. They don't want the best
that's an
competition.
illusion.
It's an
Yeah.
illusion. They don't want the best competition. They don't want no competition, actually. You see what I'm saying?
Hence wars in other countries. How we just
100%.
destroy other countries. I mean, we saw it with Gaddafi, right? We saw that in Libya. And when you have actual competition that is better for the people,
Right.
that's
They'll
now we got
destroy
to
it.
kill you.
Now we got to kill
Ah,
you. So so I
ah.
don't hate on the elites. I'm not knocking the elites for being elite. I'm just saying if you are elite, you can take us, you can take the world. If you can manipulate us to be, if you can manipulate everybody the way y'all manipulating everybody, you can manipulate everybody to do the opposite. You
Yeah,
have the
exactly.
power to take us to a type 1 civilization. Y'all have the power. They just so petty, they don't want to do that. They're
But
so
Elon was
wicked and
talking
petty.
about that. He's trying, but and that's another thing Elon mentioned. He's like, because they asked him when he started, they're like, "What do you think about Doge and the government?" He's like, "There's no hope for the for the government." So like, there is like a level of honesty which I appreciate when it comes to like the all in and like that panel and like the
Hmm.
elites, the conversation they have amongst each other. Man, you got to watch it, bro. There is
Yeah, I'm gonna check it
definitely
out.
an acknowledgement of the problem, and I don't think they're all kumbaya. I really feel like they all are not aligned either at the top, but like you said, they are aligned when it comes to like just keep the bottom low and let's
Right,
figure this
right,
out
right,
together,
right,
but let's remove the distractions of the common person in the
right.
meantime because they're not being productive. So I get it. I get the dynamics. I understand like the different.
But you got to think about this. You got to think about this element. When they're saying that the people,
It's almost like kids,
we
right? If we're having a conversation and
Mhm.
my kids start
Right,
running around here, it's
right.
almost easier for me to be like, let
Yeah,
let the moms
yeah,
and let's continue. That's almost
yeah.
how I feel like the elites
But
look
at the
at
same
us.
time, a great dad is going to be like, come here, son. Or come here, daughter.
Come
You're going to have
listen.
right there or
Mm,
right there on your knee. You're going to be shaking your knee. You're going to be like, yeah, what's going on, my brother? And you're going to have that
mm,
conversation and you're going to allow
mm.
some of that you see, the humanity. They have no
Yeah, that's
humanity.
facts.
You
That's
see what I'm
good.
saying? You can't be so
Yeah,
macro to the point where you're so far disconnected from the problems of the common person and to
yeah,
look down on the common person and say, oh, you're just we're all humans.
yeah,
We're all humans, and none of us is intrinsically better than each other. We're all
yeah.
humans. So, to me, if you're that far disconnected, that makes it easier for you to be wicked and evil, and not
Mm,
really looking at the full playing field. Because let's be real too, a lot of the people who are billionaires were socially awkward. They were picked on. They weren't in the cool group or anything. So
They were
they have
losers, bro. They were
they have a
nerds.
lot
They
of
were losers.
bitterness
Yeah,
towards everybody else too. There's a
yeah,
lot of
resentment.
bitterness there. So it's like, I got
Yeah,
billions. I can do what I want to do. So that's like that's the energy they all give off. They all like little nerds up there. You know what I'm saying? Cause I remember Vivek Ramaswamy,
Vivek. Yeah, Vivek
Vivek,
Ramaswamy.
right? He made a comment when they was talking about, bringing over, the H1, the Indians with the H1 visas and replacing American students. They said, well, if Americans wasn't so into entertainment and sports, then maybe they would spend more time learning it. I said, okay, yeah, yeah, you one of them. You one of them.
Damn.
I get where you're coming
Yeah.
from. You a Nick Fuentes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
You're a guy who wasn't that guy.
yeah, you didn't make the team, and now you're
You're gonna
hating on
make,
the team as
yeah.
opposed to just being like, yo, I'm
I
glad I
got
get
my
to watch.
billions. Right. I'm
Yeah, I'm.
getting my billions. I'm chilling. Why are you still carrying this chip on your shoulder
Mm,
for athletes and stuff like that? So my point is, yeah, man, listen, I respect the game. This is my
yeah.
critique of it. You know what I'm
No, that's
saying?
good. No, that's good. That's good.
I'm
Because
not, I'm
I'm
not,
still, yeah,
yeah.
figuring.
I
I'm still
respect
trying
the
to put.
game.
Yeah,
I'm saying they're at least they're in the business. They're in a different business. They're in the business of controlling the world. It's a whole different type of business. You know what I'm saying? So the conversations that they're going to have is a lot more different. But you got to say, where are we leading the people to? Where are we leading humanity to? Because they're really in the driver's seat for the entire whole of humanity.
do you believe they're in the business of like? Do you believe they're actually in the business, the primary business of controlling the world, or they're in the business of progressing the world and needing to control the masses is what they feel compelled to do?
I
Like
mean, I
it's
think
almost
it's
like a
one and the same.
byproduct, right?
It's a
Like
byproduct. It's one and
I'm
the
trying to
same.
get to Mars. These niggas keep, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
keep distract. So like I don't have time. I don't care enough about them. So I need to contain that. And whatever y'all gotta do to contain it, and then I can focus as opposed to like, nah, this could actually be something that's interconnected. This could help. Like if I just
right.
kind of focus a little bit on what they got going on, they will allow me, you know what I mean? Like that companionship is lacking.
Listen, if everybody really wanted, if all those billionaires up there really wanted to like push us forward into like this brand new future, all of them would invest in impoverished Africans, uh impoverished people around the world. Not even just like on a racial level, just the poor people of the world. If they invested
What is it,
in,
Zakat?
yeah, exactly. What they would do is most of your innovations, most of your genius is going to come out of real world necessity. People that are in poverty have the highest level of ingenuity because they have to find creativity. They have to be creative to fix their solutions because resources and knowledge is limited. So that's where you're going to find most of the brilliance from. You're not going to find that in Harvard or MIT. And if you do find it there, they're usually going to be from people from mixed backgrounds who come from poverty. You know what I'm saying?
Mm, mm.
These are the people who have a fire in them to do something, to drive. They want to, you know what I mean?
And the
People
creativity, right? They made the most out of having nothing.
made the most out of having nothing. So that's where most of your ingenuity is going to be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Now, your legacy students, your ones who come from descent from the elites, they're not valuable in that same way, but they have a value. They got the connections. They know how to navigate the space. You see what I'm saying? So this should be a focus on marrying those who are of a lower to the higher and meet in the middle so we can create something that's better for humanity. But they don't want to do that. They just want to keep making money. Who's going to pay for all this stuff if there's no humans here to buy it?
yeah,
You don't have billions without humanity. Your billions don't even matter without humanity. The only
yeah,
reason being a billionaire matters is because there's billions of other people who are not.
mm,
People are more important than money. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because without people, there would be no purpose for money. So all I'm
mm,
saying is I'm not knocking that they're elite and that they making moves because business is business. You know what I'm saying? And it takes a lot of intelligence. I'm not trying to say they're not intelligent. It takes a lot to be where they at. But when they have benefited from a corrupt system that is in place already to exploit
yeah.
humanity and to gatekeep technology. They got technology
Paired
where,
with this perception of like superiority,
right, right,
so that like it's enough to be like they kind of deserve it. Like this subconscious
yeah,
feeling of like,
right,
yeah, in
right,
high school, like y'all kind of, yeah, I can only imagine how you are now. Like y'all deserve that.
right,
You
right.
treated me wrong, so there's like this less desire. Yeah,
Yeah. So they didn't heal from that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They literally never
They
healed from.
used that. I mean, they used it. I mean, that's what made them who they were.
Right.
That pain, that trauma, that expansiveness is what allowed
Hmm.
you the ambition to get to where you are in the first place. And as
Right.
opposed to seeing that as like a gift from God, you then turned it into like resentment and bitterness towards
Exactly.
creation. Like you didn't,
Exactly.
and I think that's where religion is so
Who that sound
important.
and who that sound like?
The devil.
Every wickedness, every ounce of wickedness, you could be able to trace it back to the devil. Even when you look at racism, you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
People say it started with the shaitan because he
yeah,
was like, yo, you made me from fire and you made him
yeah,
from mud. I'm better than him. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Why you going to give the earth to the humans? I'm
yeah.
better than them. But
Why you even make them? Why you, yeah, why you even
right.
exist? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So every type of system like that is going to lead back to that context.
And rationally, if you're just moving off of like logic, you're like, yeah, you're right. Like, why would you make a nigga? Why would you make? But it's like that's not the point. Spiritually,
What,
it's like God made them and God said it. Therefore,
right.
like you're limited. You're not God. You have to step back and be like, yo, I may not agree, I may not understand, but like this is God telling me. You know what
I
I mean?
think
Like
you
that's
brought it to
where.
me. I think you brought it up to me before that when you look at the angel's response to that, where
Yeah, yeah,
where the creator says, I'm gonna, make man, and they said, will you make
yeah,
someone who will, do bloodshed and cause mischief in the earth? And he
yeah,
says, I know what you don't know. But they were
yeah,
asking, they wasn't
yeah,
indignant. Like, you made me from fire. What you make him for? And you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It wasn't no
Yeah, they were
arrogance there.
curious. It wasn't a challenge. It was no arrogance. Yeah, it was humility. It was curiosity. It was a big difference in the tone because they were asking the same thing,
Big difference.
but the way they asked it and where it came from made all the difference. Literally made all the difference in what happened after. Yeah, facts.
100%, 1,000%. So that's why, like, my thing with the elites is I'm just want to work my way into a conversation with them because they're
Absolutely,
not as
man.
sharp as they think. They're just not.
In what way?
Vision,
Because
vision,
I disagree.
vision,
I
man,
think they lack
vision.
self-awareness, bro. I think they
No, I
lack
think
the
they like that too.
individual work,
I think
the
they like that
self-work.
too.
Yeah, I think that's where they're blind. And ironically, if you're able to be amongst the common people, you start to gain that humanity back, right? Even
Right.
if it's just
Hmm.
small talk about sports and
Hmm.
like that's part of being human.
Right.
And I think if you're just
Right.
so focused on the macro, it's almost like you're utilizing that as an outlet for your trauma. You're not
Exactly.
really working
I
on
agree.
yourself because
Agree.
nothing you're doing actually matters. You're going to die. There
Right.
is another aspect to life than this, right? If you just ignore that, I think that's where they lack, bro. They lack the introspection,
But
spirituality, and they have them. There's no moral rails. A lot of them have no religion, so they have no. There's no boundaries, no accountability. It's just open
100%.
season.
100%. But I
That's
agree with
that's
you.
my greatest concern with when it
Yeah.
comes to these when it comes I don't even like calling them elites, but like
Now they're
that's how you
elites. They're
categorize
elites.
them.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm
That's how
saying
you
like
categorize.
that when I see like Alice Carp, Elon talks about the importance of religion. He's like,
Mm.
there's got to be a cohesive philosophy that we all tie to. Because like in America, they were talking about how like everyone like the suicide rates are going up, and almost as a collective, we are killing ourselves. Like there's like we're almost
But hold on,
self
but hold on.
imploding.
Now check this. Now check this stat. You can look it up, right?
Is that a
Religious
white person
people.
thing?
No, 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 no. It's a
Okay, okay,
religious thing.
okay.
Religious people, on average, are happier than non-religious people.
Mm,
And out of all the religions, Muslims are the happiest out of all the religions.
mm.
And that's because, and I always say this from a logical perspective, if religion is a lie, it is the best lie that humans could have developed. Because without a coping mechanism to deal with the rigors of what you got to deal with on earth, the only alternative is to kill yourself.
You have to kill yourself. Yeah,
You
yeah.
have
There's
to.
no.
If you
Yeah,
don't believe there's a hereafter, if you don't believe there's a
yeah.
purpose to none of this stuff, or reckoning, a day or a grand day of reckoning with their punishments or reward. Just go ahead.
It's
Because it
either I
doesn't
get rich
matter.
or I kill myself, or I get the baddie or I kill myself. It's like it's attached to materialism
Right.
and secular.
100%. 100%. 1,000%. There's no
There's no,
purpose
yeah, there's no
without
purpose.
God, without
Yeah.
religion. So people like to always like, okay, Yuri Bezmenov. Yuri Bezmenov. He was a defector in the 80s from Russia to the United States, right? He talked about the demoralization of a society, how it happens, how it, and talked about how the US was on that path. But he had another lecture that he did. You should be able to find it on YouTube too, where he talks about the decline of a society. He says the decline of a society and they study this around the world, all societies, empires. the decline of a society can never be reversed. Science can't
He said
reverse it.
that?
It can never be reversed once it's declining. He says
Oh,
science can't save it. Money can't save it. Technology can't save it. You know the only thing he said that can save it instantly
God?
is religion.
Mm.
When a society re-embraces the principles of its religion once again, it is able to course correct almost immediately and turn back.
Man, that's so interesting because it's almost like logically that makes sense. So even like the elites are forced to acknowledge religion, even if they don't want to because they see the
Right.
power of it. Even if they don't respect it for what it is, they're like, there's something to it to where it does bring
Most of the
some
time,
form of peace.
most of the time it's not that they don't respect it. Most of the time is that they resent it. They resent God for giving them whatever type of handicap they got. That's what they despised God for. You know what I'm saying? That's
Mm.
really the
Which
reality of it.
ironically made them who they were. I mean, they themselves hate, they can't see past it so far. Like that's what requires them to like, yeah,
And I
self-sabotage
tell you, and
on that
I
on
say it to you like this because I used to be
interesting.
one of those people. I used to
No, I
think
agree.
like that.
No, no, 100%. That's why I'm able to identify with it. Like
You know what I'm
we
saying?
all, yeah, no, for
Yeah,
sure.
so now that you say that, that lets me
Yeah,
know that when you have a certain mentality, like we understand the elites. This is why I
yeah,
think
we understand
we
them,
can
bro.
critique them at that
Yeah,
level because I've been there. I'm like, yo,
yeah,
nah, this God stuff, you made me poor. You can't love, you can this God can't be
yeah,
good. Man, you made nigga poor? Like, nah,
yeah,
man. I'm gonna go do what I gotta do. I'm gonna get this bread.
yeah.
It's, if I fail,
I'm
it's
gonna do
gonna
it
be
my
because
way.
of me. I'm gonna do it my way.
I'm gonna do it
You know what I'm
my
saying?
way. That's
And
it.
you know
Yeah.
what?
And if
I'm
you
not
want to help, you can help. But like I'm doing it my
exactly
way.
right. Right.
That's
I
really the
remember when I
mentality.
stopped being Christian, the instant thought came to me, it was like, I'm gonna be Muslim. And I said, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna study all the religions. I gotta see what makes sense. And if nothing makes sense, I'm gonna make my own religion.
Literally, bro.
The
Yeah,
arrogance. But that's the I'm just saying that's
yeah. No, that's a
the
gift.
stuff that God gave us, that ambition. So
Yeah.
I can understand when elites are like, oh, you know, God, and we can't prove it. And it's like, come on, man.
Especially
Nah,
when you
man.
see the people that are religious and they lack ambition, they lack all the things that you value about yourself that you feel makes you special,
Right,
right?
right, right.
And so you see
Right.
these people like, oh, he's fucking goyim. That's where
Right.
you get goyim. Yeah, yeah, you're
Yeah,
goyim,
yeah.
bro. Like,
Yeah, now you look down
you,
on you look down because that's what I'm saying. I understand the elites. I
how can we
understand the
understand?
dichotomy of the regular folks and them just being
Yeah,
bathing in their regularness, you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
without even caring about the
Niggas
grander
got like
things.
Green Bay paint on. You're
You know
like,
what I'm saying? I
you got
get
one
it.
life, bro. Like, this is how you chose to live it. No impact. Like, you start justify all these
Right,
different judgments of like,
right.
look what I'm doing. Look what, but you don't know how good they are as a human. That's why Islam is like, yo, character, who you are as a human being matters. Because that's really the most important thing. That's really what's going to keep
Exactly.
society growing. Everything
Exactly.
else is going to happen anyway, with or without you. With or without you,
Exactly.
you're not that important.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because that ain't
That's
your
my
plan.
point.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's why I say when I bring up vision, they're lacking vision because vision requires for the future, vision requires we find a way to elevate human existence and manage human conflict. Because
yeah.
the greatest impediment to progress is human conflict.
Yeah. Mm,
How do we minimize the conflict between humans? Because our growth trajectory to a type
yeah,
1 civilization and beyond is
correct.
dependent upon how well we can manage human conflict. To manage
Yeah,
human conflict means you got to deal with racism. You got to deal with
yeah.
sexism. You got to deal with all the isms that exist. So that, you know, the best mechanism to analyze this from is watching Star Trek. Star
Hmm.
Trek is amazing because it shows you what a society has to be and overcome to be a type 1 civilization. You know what I'm saying? To be able to explore the stars and beyond. Because all of the casts in the Star Wars Star Trek, excuse
Diverse.
me, are diverse. And they even got to deal with other aliens. It's like
Mm.
the whole show is about how humans manage their human conflict and stuff on Earth to allow them to travel the stars and interact with beings that's completely different.
That's so true, bro. It's like you can't even get along with other human beings. What the fuck you think's gonna happen when you see aliens? And then they
You
got way
can't
more
deal with
better, like they
humans.
stronger than us. We can't bully them. You know what I mean? Like we can bully other humans. But, like, you take that mentality and you meet somebody that actually is better and stronger,
Come on, bro.
they're gonna obliterate you. Like, God is almost, like, protecting us, like, you're not even worthy of this next realm. You're not even worthy of type 1, type 2, type 3, because I'm here to protect you. Even if you mad, I'm here to preserve, and
Yeah.
I know what's out there.
Right.
You have no chance. Thanos, nigga, like,
Yeah. Right.
you have no chance
Right.
unless you come together, Avengers. Like, you
Right.
all of it, all these stories, all these shows, they depict the same thing. You gotta
Exactly.
come together.
You got
You
to.
have
There's
to.
no
Like,
way
there's
around
no
it.
way around it.
There's no way around human unity. If we if we can't stand humans that got different facial characteristics, different hair
Yeah.
texture, what are we gonna deal with aliens with 4 arms and 6 arms and an eye on their ears and stuff like that? Like, come on, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
come on, but homie, let's kick it. Like, what is yeah, like, what are you gonna do? It
Right. And
doesn't even
speaking
make
of that,
sense.
speaking
Yeah,
of that,
because you know, I talked about that. He talked about the Kardashev scale. You
he
went a little
did.
bit into that.
He did.
Yeah, no, brilliant, man. Like, they
Yeah, I
had real
gotta see this. I
conversations,
gotta
man. It
see
felt like
that.
a
I
fly
gotta
on the
see this
wall.
joint.
I was
Really, I gotta
smiling
see
in the
this joint.
gym, like, yo, this shit is
Mhm.
crazy. Like,
Yeah, I gotta see
these
this joint.
conversations is high level in a different way.
Yeah,
They was
yeah,
asking brilliant questions. Because even
really.
Chamath was like curious, like, all right, like, how do you plan on ruling civilization in Mars? Like, given what's
Mm,
happening here, like, how
mm,
do you?
mm-hmm,
And he almost like dismissed it. He was almost like he almost. I feel like he wanted to like restart. Like, Mars seems like a reset project for him. You know what I mean?
mm,
Like, and I don't even. Again, I think these dudes lack self awareness. I don't think they actually understand their intent and their internal like trauma. I don't
mm-hmm.
think so, bro.
Right,
And I think
right.
it's one of those things that comes out at the end. And then it's like
Mm,
all hell breaks loose. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? Like, right now, I think they're all like decent humans. They're all sincere. They all, but once it gets like, oh, we are at Mars, this nigga's burning all the ships. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he's gonna
yeah.
realize the same things we're asking now, but he's not asking himself these questions because
Right,
it'll require him to do some inner work. And they see that as like a distraction almost. They only do
right,
enough to like get them to where they want to be and not where they
right,
need to be or who they need
right,
to be to like embody and be
right.
worthy of like every, you know what I mean? Like, and Alice Carby mentioned it too, bro. He was like in passing, but those are like the comments that I pick up on because
Mm,
he's like, they criticized me. He's like, they only knew how much I didn't even like myself or something along those lines. I was like, man, like that's, you don't want that power and not love yourself. You know what I mean? Like, that's a
yo, I'm gonna keep it
dangerous
real with you.
combination.
I'm gonna
That's a,
keep it real with you. Everybody wants to be everybody. It doesn't matter who. Like I'm just saying, like on a general scale, everybody wants to be the guy who can get the women naturally. That's it. If you're not that
you want to
guy,
be a magnet. You want to
you
attract it
want to be a
naturally. Like,
magnet
if I
for women.
had nothing, I just showed up with my
Right,
aura, it
right,
wouldn't even, they would
right,
know.
right.
Yeah, 100%. That's
So,
natural.
so,
Yeah.
so guys have a varying degree to if they're that guy or not. The range, right? There's a range in there. Those guys are not those guys, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're not those guys.
None of them. That's
So
one thing they all have in common. They all have,
they're not those guys. That's my
they
point.
all have that in common.
So
Yeah.
that a lot of that insecurity, a lot of that resentment, a lot of that stuff comes out through them focusing like laser focus on their work. And there's a constant
On the
perspective.
vision, on
Yeah,
macro,
right.
not the day to day, not the
Yeah.
present.
Because the day to day sucks whether they got money or not. They
Yeah. They got to
know
deal with themselves.
they gotta deal with themselves. And they know anybody that's
Yeah.
around them, yes, boss, yes, master,
Yeah.
anybody that's a yes person around, they know they there because they need the money, not because they really rock with them like that. Because you know
Yeah.
what? At the end of the day, they still human and you still got that need for human connection that's
Yeah.
not being met. You see what I'm saying?
Like, that's
That's what
not transactional.
that's
You
not
want like a
transactional.
genuine human connection. You want people to see you and not judge you. You
That's
want to
why they
give that
run from it.
acceptance. They run from that. Yeah.
Focus on the macro.
Or
Do you
they
know why?
destroy anyone that mirrors it.
Exactly. So
Mm.
that's like, and again, that's my thing. Like, and I just want to bring these three up. It's going to tie in, but here's the thing, because we was talking about going to other of the stars and stuff right now.
Are you doing the
Here,
Trump? You doing the Trump weave? All right,
no,
go
no, no, no,
ahead.
no, no, no. We gotta check this out.
Yeah.
Three things. They just found, just science just confirmed. Just confirmed. This is like breaking news, literally. Just confirmed. Okay.
You know I'm about to look this
Quantum
shit up.
physicists just broke its own boundaries. Researchers have successfully created persistent quantum objects, matter that remains in superposition, existing in multiple states indefinitely at room temperature. The implications are enormous. quantum computers without cooling systems, revolutionary communication methods, and even macroscopic teleportation. Reality as we know it may simply be an illusion. Scientists have created matter that exists in two places at once, not for a moment, but permanently. Bruh, the level of breakthrough of what that means. Okay, that's one. The second one.
That's
Have you been?
one? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
The second scientific craziness that's happening is, did you hear about this ship that this supposed to be this comet or meteorite that they've been tracking, and it's getting closer. It's supposed to be here by like next month or something like that. But
Stop it, bro.
they looking at it and it's like, yo, the joint got straight lines and lights on it. So they like, yo, this is actually a ship. This don't look like it's a comet. You know, they got Kepler and they got all the telescopes taking shots of it. Look it up too.
Yeah,
You'll see
300.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
All verifiable. No pseudo stuff. Just real verifiable news report that there's
Yeah,
something
October 3rd, 2025.
right. It's on its way here. You know what I mean? Okay, that's number two. And then the last one is, Earth has been sending radio message transmissions back and forth to one of Saturn's moons. Like they're literally like people's like one of like somewhere on Saturn's moons, they're sending radio transmissions out. So my point bringing all of that up is, who the hell we got dealing with this? Like who's managing this stuff, man?
Yeah, who's leading the ship?
Who's leading us?
CIA. It gotta be CIA. I mean, there's no other
I would
entity.
probably say DARPA. And like I believe there's a breakaway civilization that's even higher than the CIA. A civilization
Mm,
that is based on, like, they was dealing with so many reverse engineered government technology and a lot of ancient technologies, and they've probably been dealing with beings and stuff like that from other dimensions and stuff for a long time, that they're not
DARPA.
even really like DARPA's deep. I don't even want to say their name
No,
too
no, no.
much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah. I know, I know,
Yeah,
I know, I
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I,
Them
I
guys.
forgot about them. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's the real deal. You know what I'm saying? That's the real deal. You know, that's who developed the real stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
The real technology.
So NASA's what, testing ground for a lot of those
I would
technologies?
say it's front facing. I would definitely
Yeah.
say it's more like a front facing organization for the
Mm.
masses, but DARPA does the real
I see
work.
my son wearing the shirt with NASA on it. That pissed me off. So I don't know why. Just seeing my kids like getting programmed to wear
Yeah,
out. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like you start seeing it, you gotta hold yourself back.
Nah, I feel you on that.
That shit pissed me off.
Nah, that's a trip to
Yeah.
see that, because you know what the red that's like supposed to be the tongue of the devil and stuff like that on the
Mm.
NASA. I'll send you
Yeah,
a
the
joint on
snake.
there.
It's like a
Yeah, yeah,
snake.
yeah.
No, yeah, it's like the two, yeah, like around it. Yeah, no, no, I see.
Yeah,
No, I know. Like that's what I'm
yeah.
like. It's just crazy to see how early they
How they
position
start the
themselves,
programming?
and
Yeah.
then it's almost like you forget about it. And it's like,
Hmm.
oh, NASA's safe. I don't even think about it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like it's very methodical. They're very smart about that.
Very,
So
very.
like seeing it, yeah, that's was like,
Yeah, it could be like triggering an alarm and like, yo. But you see how it starts. You see how the programming
no, that's what I'm
starts
saying.
early.
I'm just observing. I'm trying not to like, because they don't know. So if I
Yeah, yeah,
react in a
yeah,
certain
yeah.
way, that should traumatize them even more. So I'm
Exactly.
almost like,
Hmm.
okay,
Right,
all right,
right, right. And
yeah,
you just give them the game later. They, drop clues on them. They put it together. But that's also shows you how the brainwashing is integrated. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
It's integrated on a super sub level, day to day level. Oh, it's harmless. All these things is okay. So that's how they get us. They rock us to sleep. You know
yeah,
what I'm
man,
saying? And
yeah,
so when they rocking us to sleep is when they doing all of these other plans and doing all of these other things. So I'm like,
yeah.
that's why my perspective is like, if these guys are really about it, man, like here's the other thing. The reason you have to solve poverty, like right now, like money is this Chinese scientist. I'm gonna send you this TikTok. Man, this dude he breaks down the world stuff in a way that's like, damn, like,
It's not the dude that got the camera in front of his face, is it?
no, 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 no.
Different
It's
guy?
he's like
Okay.
it's like he's teaching on a
Oh, he's actually okay,
yeah, like he's writing stuff
okay,
on a board, so it's like he's in a classroom,
okay.
like literally. But
Mm,
the reason I bring him up is because he was making a point that money exists to create the illusion of scarcity. Because
mm,
people have
wow.
to, like, if nobody if, like, people wouldn't work if they didn't need money. Because we really don't need
Mm,
money. But you need money if you want to control people and make people work. so that people are more
Mm,
interested in working so that they can get money to get the things they need, when in reality, they don't. And this is why it's such a big dichotomy of what's happening when it comes to this discussion of AI and it replacing everybody's jobs, because they know that when them releasing this technology has to change the way society operates. It
yeah.
can't be the same paradigm on or based on rich and poor. It
You know
can't
what's
be.
interesting?
What's that?
They're almost trying to take society back to where it should have already been
Right.
in terms
Right.
of like universal basic income, allowing people to just live freely, do what they
Mhm.
want, and focus on spirituality, focus
Right.
on creativity,
Right.
focus on your religion. It's almost like now they gotta convince you
To do
after
that.
losing all trust to be what you should have been. It's like, no, this
Hmm.
is actually how humans are supposed to live.
Right.
And nobody's like, yeah, you're a liar.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
nah, you know what I mean? Like
We don't
that's
believe you.
we
Yeah.
don't believe you. You're a
Hmm.
liar. No, you told us this was, and now you're trying to switch it back. Like, no, we don't. It's like it's so interesting. But like,
Very
you're right, because
interesting.
even like in Surah Miriam, that like that always blew my mind of how like risk always came to her
Mm. Mm.
when she would just be
Hmm.
in a temple. Right? It was almost
Hmm.
like to say, you do what you need to do, and naturally the currency of abundance, or whatever, will come to you. And you learn this in the law,
Right.
and I've experienced this. Like it's these are the divine laws of nature, right? But we've been taught the opposite. Work hard, 9 to 5. It's like this is, bro. Like you forget who's providing for you. Like your work, your effort has nothing to do with the provision itself, right? It's like learning, evolving, healing your nervous system, mentality, right? Like that's really what currency is,
Exactly.
and you're taught everything but
100%.
that.
Exactly. And you're taught everything but that because some people who are in control don't want people to have the freedom to deal with those realities, because they will be irrelevant without control. And what you really get down to is the money becomes not a metric of the growth of society, but how much you're sucking the soul out of people, how
That's what
much
that's what
of
the
the
GDP
soul.
really is, huh?
Exactly. It's a soul measurement, because Bill Gates says that there's a human output meter, so you can grade every human based on the level of production they produce. Like, God didn't create us to be products.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? But we have
yeah,
other people trying to force us into being products because
yeah.
of whatever internal trauma they didn't heal from. The same way you brought up manifestation, law of attraction, all that stuff. We see how that's already rooted in Islam and in our religion, our way of life. But the point is that they at least have to deal with these things because all the info coming out, because quantum physics backs up that entire,
Everything. Yeah.
and backs the whole
It
play up.
just validates all of it. Yeah.
All of it. So now they have to be realistic about incorporating religion. They have to
Yeah.
be realistic about the effects of what it really is, because the science is not corroborating. And so what
It's
we end up
interesting.
having is that they're great thinkers, but they don't reason well, because they don't look at systems as holistic. They're excellent at compartmentalizing. This is why they can come up with great solutions to a specific set of problems, but they never know how to deploy those solutions holistically with other solutions to create a holistic solution. There's always
Mm.
an issue here or issue there, because their
Yeah.
plans always omit. They don't look at things from a holistic level.
That's what you mean when they lack vision.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Because
saying.
that's really what vision is. It's
Right,
seeing everything as a whole, everything
right,
interconnected.
exactly,
Like you're just
100%,
solving one problem and it's leaking another problem. Now you're just solving problems to keep yourself busy.
exactly.
You know what I
You're
mean?
not.
You're not
So
actually
there's no
solving
vision
problems.
to
Yeah,
go
there's no
somewhere or
actual
to do
vision.
something. You're just solving problems that make you richer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, he goes the
I don't even think
bars.
it's to be richer. I think it's just because they genuinely don't want to deal with themselves. And if there's no problems, if there's just peace, which is why they niggas hate Islam, peace requires you to deal with yourself.
Oh,
And I think
that's
all problems go back to that. Individuals unwilling to deal with themselves,
yo, that's
deal with their
deep.
childhood trauma, deal
Yeah.
with their wounds, relationship, whatever it is. I think all problems stem from that,
Mm, mm.
in my opinion,
No,
based on
no,
what
no,
I've
no, no,
seen. And
no, no.
even on my own, like, that's why I had to take a hiatus, bro. I had to take like
Mm,
2 years off because I was
mm,
like, at the rate I'm going, if I don't do the work, I will end up just like them. I was
mm,
making millions,
mm,
bro.
mm.
And I
I
burnt
know,
all
yeah.
that shit to the
Mhm,
ground. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, I understood that like this is only gonna scale,
Yeah.
me included.
Mm,
And if I'm not right, then like
mm.
I could just see it's just gonna be more of it.
Right,
It doesn't ever get better.
right, right. More
It
money,
just
more problems.
changes, if you start.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that way, right? If
Yeah.
you start that way, which because I don't agree. I think more money, more solution if you're aligned,
Well, no,
right?
the
More
more money you get,
blessings.
the more problems, but
I
when I
think the
say
more
more problems,
opportunities, bro. I don't think
no,
it's
I think
problems.
it's more opportunity, but it's definitely more problems because again, even in your instance, more money you get, jealousy comes. People try to sabotage, people try to steal from you, people lie to you, people try to take from you. So
Those are opportunities.
but they're problems. Problems
I think we're
exist.
framing it differently, but
No,
like,
but
yeah.
framing is everything, right? Like
Yeah,
we
because my
always say,
perspective is like if there's a person I'm dealing with that's jealous, how I deal with them is an opportunity for me to dive deeper into who I am and
100%.
navigate through that relationship or that
Right,
opportunity to
right.
draw closer to God
Right.
ultimately. Right?
100%. But you
So
still
that's
got
kind
to
of
deal with them trying to take your M's away. You still gonna have to deal with the lying that was done to sabotage a plan. All I'm saying is, and it varies, right? Like you have if you got a 10 million, 10, you got problems that's based on a number. You got like a $5 million problem or $100,000 problem. I'm just saying that problems do occur with increase. Not that that's a bad thing, because problems exist to be solved. I'm not saying they're not opportunities. I'm just saying with growth comes more responsibility, comes more challenges, and we can substitute the word problems for challenges because I'm using it in the same like
I
synonymous
mean it's
type of
there,
way.
bro. Opportunity. Yeah.
Okay, in the Bible, right? The Christians got a term. They say, "May God turn every stumbling block into a stepping stone."
Yeah, Paul wrote that. I need a hadith. Give me a
Yeah,
hadith.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I don't want what Paul wrote. I want some prophetic. Nah, I'm joking. I'm
But
joking.
yeah, no,
What
but
did he
it's a
say?
good
Say it
bar.
again.
It's a
Say it
good
again.
bar.
What did he say? What did he
It's
say?
he
Say it
said,
again.
"May God turn every stumbling block into a stepping stone." You see what I'm
Okay, yeah.
saying? So
Beautiful.
I'm with you on that. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like a stumbling block is a problem until you use it for a stepping stone, which is an opportunity. See what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, nah, but it's an opportunity to draw closer to
It's still
God.
a
Like
problem though. It's a
it's
test.
only a problem if you don't if it takes you away from God. It's a test. Yeah. Okay, a
Well,
test.
so
All
yeah,
right.
so
I can
we
agree.
like
Okay.
yeah, we don't
More
look at
tests.
yeah. I don't look at problem as in and of itself as a bad thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
I know me in my life particularly. I always grew when I was challenged the most, or when I had the most problems. The more problems I've ever had, and I had to solve. I always came and I always like overcome them alhamdulillah, and use that as a learning opportunity, as a springboard, so
Yeah.
I don't personally look at problems as a
But
bad
it has a
thing.
negative connotation, a negative associate. Problem is
But problems
opportunity
exist
is
to be
more
solved. Solving it is the opportunity. So it's just like when you find a business and you got to
okay.
find the pain points. They'd be like, what's the pain points, right? And then you
Got
create a
you.
business that solves the
Yeah.
problems that those pain points create. And then once you solve that problem, it generates money because business is essentially problem solving. The more
Yeah.
problems you can solve, the more money you can make. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but like then you're incentivizing the problem, and I think that what leads full circle because now you're incentivized to find as many problems as possible because it's leading to an outcome that you want, and now it's done for the outcome and not the journey itself.
It depends on the observer. You're right.
You
It
know what
just
I
depends
mean?
on how
Like
to, no, you're
that's the
right.
why I don't agree with the premise of like the test. Yeah, test is neutral. Depending on again, that also is dependent on your perception of God, right? If he's a God of wrath, then test is a punishment. If he's a God of love, then it's an opportunity. So a lot of people are jaded and we grew up thinking, one, and you kind of have to do the work to realize that it's
Mhm.
not actually what you think. But yeah, I think problems again, yeah, I think I just frame it as opportunities, man. I think test is okay, but opportunities because ultimately I think everything that happens is for a good reason. If it brings you closer to God, if it allows
Right.
you to expand who you are as a human being, right?
I agree. Now I'm just gonna read the definition, right? So we got two definitions. We got a matter or situation regarded as unwelcome or harmful and needing to be dealt with and overcome,
What
right?
is that problem?
Yeah,
That's
problem.
the definition.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in physics and mathematics, an inquiry starting from given conditions to investigate or demonstrate a fact, result, or law. But I don't want to go back and forth on this point too much. The thing that I like
Unwelcome
to
is crazy. Yeah, nah, welcome.
the point I'm getting at too, though, is framing is everything, right? So the
Yeah,
framing,
nigga, this is
huh?
exactly my point.
What's
Problem
that?
is framed as unwelcoming and or harmful. and I don't
Yeah,
agree with that.
needing
I
to,
think it's
but it
neutral.
not necessarily, but it needing to be dealt with and overcome. So, like for instance,
Okay, I agree with that part. Yeah, yeah, okay.
so the what where we agree at or in a line is on the overcoming part is the
Yeah,
opportunity for me. You know
correct.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like if you presented with a problem and you are overcoming it, that creates the opportunity for the growth. Like your interaction with the problem determines if it's a good thing or a bad thing, or based on how you perceive it. If you're looking at it like
yeah, your
you don't
response to it.
yeah, your response to it is that
That's the
has a
free
lot
will.
to to deal with, like how you're dealing with it. You know what I mean? But the only point I brought that up for is the fact that yeah, they don't look at things holistically, and it is just like you said. You then look for problems to solve because I even on the human level, on the
No,
individual,
I've been
I've
there.
been there. You're just looking for
Yeah.
stuff. You're looking for problems so you can solve the problem.
So
Like
I don't
it's
gotta
like,
sit
yo,
with
bro,
myself.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, yo, bro, like, bro, you looking for problems now, bro. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So I'm with you on that, 100%.
Yeah, especially
I'm
as
just pointing out
entrepreneurs,
that
you got a whole task list and all that. Sometimes you just need to sit down and let inspiration come in. Like sometimes, some days, the best thing to do is nothing. But
exactly.
if you're
Yo,
just
yeah,
like an entrepreneur, I'm gonna find all these problems, you got all these tasks, and none of it brings you revenue, nothing is helping, but it's just a distraction, right? Like
right,
so, yeah,
100%,
I think that's a
100%.
lot of what they got going on, and then you in turn create more problems, honestly, by doing
Right.
that. And I think that's what you're seeing now on that level, on the macro, when it comes to
Yeah.
yeah, no, no, and yeah, we can dive into those conversations. I mean, when it comes to like the internal work,
Hmm.
Tezkia,
Hmm.
RAS. I know you're
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
deep into
yeah, yeah,
RAS,
yeah,
and
yeah,
like
for sure, for sure.
that's powerful. I mean, that's us even giving people insights and gems when it comes to reprogramming your belief system. I think
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
the most powerful thing you can do as a human being. Everything else is second to that.
Yeah,
So
it really is, bro. It
it's
really is.
absolutely, and that's what the elites have when it comes to individual like Barron Trump, right? It's growing up in a household where the beliefs are empowering, beliefs
Right,
of abundance. That's really what kids
right,
adopt, right? That's
right.
really what that's really what they're learning from parents is. It's not what you're saying, but it's really what you're embodying emotionally.
Hmm.
You can say whatever you want, but if you're
Hmm.
in the scarcity energy, that's what the
Yeah,
kids are gonna pick up. I don't care what you
exactly,
teach them, right?
exactly.
That's why it's always comes back to the individual because that's the greatest way you'll make any change is
Hmm.
by affecting yourself first. Because once you learn how your internal operates and works, one, you won't even try anymore. Like you don't even need to try when it comes to human other people. Like it's just
Hmm.
a matter of attraction and trusting God. So
Hmm.
yeah, man, I think people kind of overcomplicate life more than it needs to be. But
No, that's
again,
a
that's
fact.
another
Yeah, yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
if
That's
y'all want to hear
definitely.
more about this, like yeah, we could definitely dive into it. I'm sure the opportunities will come,
Yeah,
and that's the communities we're building out now, which we'll talk about more in the future.
yeah.
But it really does come down to the individual. You got the individual, and Balaji talks about it. The individual, which is the soul, and then you have the collective,
Hmm.
which is where you give value, and then you have the global society as a whole.
Hmm. No, that's a fact. That's a fact. You know, and that's how pretty much everything, the stratus, the structure of everything, in society, is molded after that. Basically, you know what I mean. So it's like,
And at
yeah,
least see it inversely, right? They're looking at the global first, and then they try
yeah,
to we'll figure out everything later. And it's like,
yeah,
bro, that's yeah,
and that's because they're running from the self because the individual is the cornerstone to family, community, tribe, nation, organization, group. The individual, like you're only as strong as your weakest link.
mm,
And if these are, the
like a
people
basketball
who,
team
yeah, everything,
or any team.
strangely enough, I really believe it's important for children, both male and female, to play sports growing up because sports is literally like,
Absolutely.
it literally breaks down the essence of life. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Damn, that's fascinating
yeah,
because the
bro.
nerds they don't play on
They
teams.
don't play
So
on
they
teams.
never develop the skill set of like teamwork
They never
and understanding
develop that.
everyone has their role, everyone has
Everybody
their
has their role.
position. Damn,
Because the first thing is like,
that's
if
interesting.
you play basketball or any sport and you nice to something and somebody else come through and they nice on something, the desire to win will have
Yeah,
you sacrifice the fact
yeah,
that this guy is better at this thing than you and
yeah,
he's the best person for that play or he should have the ball most of the time. You know
yeah.
what I'm
The
saying?
Draymond Green effect.
When you want to win, you want to win. You
Yeah,
see?
you want to
But you can
win.
only learn that from playing a team sport. You
Team
understand?
sport. Wow. And life is a team sport. I mean, they
Life
know
is a
this
team
too
sport.
on a
Right.
company level.
Right. Right. But their tactic is manipulation, not inspiration and motivation. See, when Jordan played, he
Mm,
inspired and motivated and pushed his team to elevate at a certain level. You know what I'm saying?
Kobe's, yeah, same with
Same
Kobe.
thing with
Yeah.
Kobe. You see what I'm saying? But in their interest, they're not looking at, yo, let's be a team. They're looking at, I'm the boss. You gotta do what I say,
Mm,
and I'm gonna give you space to be great in your own space, but you work for me. You know what I mean? Like
mm.
it's not an understanding that, yo, we in this together. Most
As long as I hit my numbers, I'm good. As long as I get my
exactly,
money, we're good.
exactly,
You know what I mean?
exactly,
As long as I hit 35, we win or lose, it don't really matter. I
exactly.
got mine.
Now, and you can see the teams with the superstar players who play like that.
Yeah, you
You know what I'm
seen it.
saying?
I don't
You
want
see
to throw
him.
any names out there because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was very tempted. I
Yeah.
was like, bro, we about to, we go, yeah, nah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't want all the smoke.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I get that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no,
Very
I'm
interesting.
gonna check out that this
Oh, it's good.
yeah,
All
you know
in. Yeah, yeah.
what I'm
I haven't
saying?
finished it. I'm looking at the Nasdaq
Mhm,
CEO, and there's a few other
mhm,
videos.
mhm. Hey, but what does that
Yeah,
tell you though, too? Billionaires now have to come before the human peasants, the masses, because we're in a space now where
yeah,
where humanity matters because
yeah.
people get paid with their eyeballs now, attention. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
The currency is attention. Even these billionaires have to come to the public, have to come to the people and talk about these things. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
There's no way around it.
Why do you think they're doing that?
It's needed. You know, like I think on one end, we're at such a precipice in humanity where there's some incredible changes that's taking place where they have to do this on
Mm.
just on a cosmic level, on a level that God has
'Cause it's
ordained
fascinating. Like
that they have to do this.
I'm watching Sachs, who's like one man away from the president, and he's just
Mm,
talking on a podcast.
mm,
You know what I mean?
mm,
Like
mm,
and it's like insight I've never had before. It's like it's
mm.
fascinating. I'm like almost like
Yeah,
it's surreal.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean? I'm
because the
listening to
power
Chama,
is
and then
with
he's
the
sitting like
people.
two seats down from the president during the dinner, like the technocratic dinner.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's like this acknowledgement of like we actually do need people. And it's like,
yeah.
yeah, it's coming like full circle.
It's
Almost
coming
like
full circle.
reluctantly they have
Reluctantly,
to.
you have to, because people is the currency, not the
Yeah.
currency. Money, all that other stuff wouldn't matter if there were no humans here. You know what I'm saying? It just wouldn't matter. And just like as men, like if women didn't
Yeah.
exist,
Yeah.
we wouldn't want to live. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be
Yeah.
nothing to do here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the billionaires have to come back and humble themselves and understand that if they want to stay billionaires, if they care about their legacy, if they want to expand, you need people, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you're
Mm.
saying you already got the elites of the people working in your companies and this, that, and that, how long is that going to last? You got to cultivate that. There's
Yeah.
8 billion humans here. We need to cultivate 8 billion humans so we can go to different, like, if everybody's like, the reason you got to raise the standard of living of everybody is because if we're ready to go to Mars, if we're ready to go to these other places in the galaxy and all that type of stuff, we're ready for type 1 civilization, then you're going to have to elevate the standard of living because now you got to take these people and disperse them throughout the stars, you know? And then
Mm.
also another invention they just came out with, I think I sent it to you, Japan, I believe, no, China, for
The pregnancy one?
$1,400. Yeah, yeah, they perfected the artificial womb. Now,
Mm.
listen, the reason I'm always telling people to watch TV and all that stuff, and why I don't know what people are watching on TV because I know when I'm watch stuff, man, I'm the reason I could talk about these things I got a movie and a TV show reference for everything
For
we're talking
everything.
about.
Yeah.
Superman.
Matter of
That's how
fact,
they used to
Alien came out
reproduce.
yesterday. Isn't that
Yo, yo,
see
you got it. Now, now, if you want to see the world that
yeah.
Shemov, Elon, and all them is building in the near future, you gotta watch
Yeah.
Alien. Because in Alien, the government's failed, and like 4 billionaires or trillionaires
Fascinating.
run
It's a
the
great
world.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
As a
fascinating.
young kid, it's a young kid running it.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it's a
The
yeah, it's a
Utani, the
fascinating show.
Wayland Utani Corporation, the Prodigy Corporation, and another show is
The one
for
with Matt Damon or
yeah, Matt Damon and
with
Ben Affleck
Ben
executive
Affleck.
produced it.
Yeah.
That gives another really good insight to, you
It was
know,
like a one season, right? Got shut
yeah, yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was pissed. I was like, oh, they took it off because
It's
this
too
was really
good.
giving. It was too good, man.
Project Greenlight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Project Greenlight?
yeah. Yep, yep. Project Greenlight. You know what I'm saying? All of these things we see, you know, taking place, it already been expressed in a film like Superman, the Superman series in general, but the one with Man of Steel, it showed you. And it shows you in Superman's story that his people expanded to the galaxy. So they were taking over worlds, they expanded. And what ended up happening is they stopped being able to like reproduce together. So they had the artificial wombs and stuff like that. They used to mix their
Mm,
DNA and then they go into a machine and then the machine nurture and put the baby out. So when I start hearing about, I grew up on comic books. So when I start hearing about this
pregnancy.
technology, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this was in Superman. You know what I'm saying? This was
Mm,
in here. All of human innovation, technological wise, and or where we're going. It all starts out in sci-fi and the comic books. Comics and sci-fi is the foretelling of what we're doing or going to be doing in society and what technologies are going to come out. That's
mm.
literally what sci-fi and comics is about. You're literally like
Why is
reading the future.
what's the benefit of having like this negative portrayal or narrative around technology and AI when it comes to these movies? Like, wouldn't it be more productive to create a storyline that aligns with something good happening with AI? Like, where you see her, you see Terminator, you see all of these doomsday. So, like, if you're actually trying to be productive and create a civilization where they're easily adopting it, you could just predictively program it in the other way, reverse engineer, right? But why I don't get it. Like why but that's the one thing I liked about Fantastic Four, right? They
Mhm.
integrated the AI technology. Iron Man, pretty similar. I guess there's both.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
You got to watch the
with the kids
comics.
though, with the kids it's like it's good. And then with
Right.
the
With the
adults it's like
adults,
almost
is
like
exactly. Like the
ah
comic books shows
interesting.
you the positives of how everything could be, and
Yeah, like Wakanda.
right. And the movies shows the movies show you the death, the destruction, the problems that it'll bring. You know what I'm saying? Or that you gotta look out for. You know what I mean? So it's more
Mm,
like an adult themed in that way, but at the same time, it's not really something that is shied away from in the comics either, because the comics get real deep and dark. Like actually, in the comics, Thanos, the reason he was trying to kill half the universe was to impress Death, which was a woman that rejected him as he wasn't
mm.
worthy enough. So he wanted to kill enough people
Feed
or kill,
her half of the world,
yeah, so
half
she
of
can
its
respect him and be with him. You know what I'm saying?
it
Because he
always
turned him
comes
down.
back to the
But I
gender
tell you, man,
dynamic. We gotta
what I
do an
tell you,
episode on that, bro. No,
yeah,
we gotta.
yeah,
I think it's time we gotta unpack that because it's a
yeah,
real conversation that even myself I've been working through.
hmm
And yeah, I think there just needs to be another perspective because the red pill, the blue pill, all that is, bro. Like it's not working. It's not
hmm
productive.
hmm
It's not
hmm
harmonizing anyway. It's very divisive and yeah, man, it
yeah,
just pisses me off. I just
yeah,
don't like because I fed into these narratives a lot. So it's like I could see the need, but like now is the time to kind of really we got
well,
to figure out a way to
yeah.
an
I think it's
opportunity to
all. I
talk
think it's
about
all
it.
necessary. I think the
Yeah, yeah,
phases are
for sure.
necessary.
But there got to be a
Going through
next
the
phase. Is what I'm
phases,
saying.
yeah,
We got
yeah,
to pave that
exactly,
next
yeah,
phase. Yeah,
yeah. It has to be like a final destination that once you go through these systems, you reprogram, you understand what the game is, you know. But at the end of the day, humanity is always going to be 50% women, 50% men, and
yeah,
you're not going. That's not going to change. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So again, you see technology come in as a solution for that. Okay, well, we got an artificial womb. We don't
Crazy,
need women
bro.
for that no more. That I'm just saying
Yeah,
when
bro.
we don't solve the problem between men and
Yeah,
women, the
yeah.
alternative, that's the
You see
alternative.
sex dolls and like
Exactly.
it's gross.
The
It's gross, bro.
degeneration, the degeneration of humanity, on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
Futurama, the TV show Futurama.
Hey, that one-eyed girl's a baddie, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I had a crush on her when I grew up. I was growing up.
But in that show,
Leia,
they say that the
what is
world
it?
was
I gotta look up.
destroyed. One of the episodes, they were talking about the world was destroyed, Earth was destroyed because like everybody just like took sex robots and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm,
and then it just left the planet open to be invaded by aliens or something like that. Now it's more comic relief in that form, but it just shows you that like sometimes Hollywood
no,
will
we
take
know. We know. Not sometimes.
complex, yeah, yeah,
Simpsons, bro.
yeah, yeah,
You seen
yeah.
Simpsons?
Yeah,
No, no,
they'll
they
take
that's the
deep
easiest way to
themes,
tell you the truth.
right? They'll take deep themes
Yeah,
and make it like it's for children, or
yeah.
water it down with comedy to remove you from the
Yeah.
impact of the seriousness of what's actually
Yeah, put
being
your guard
conveyed.
down, and yeah, it's like you go to stand-up comedy. I mean, the best comedians, right? You listen to Dave Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal. If you actually hear what they're saying, you're like, "Yo, these niggas is processing deep, and this is
Right.
how they have to let it out. Like they got to
Right.
find it out because if you don't laugh about it, you kill yourself. Like it's
Exactly.
just,
You either laugh or
it's like,
cry about it. That's
and
a
some of them
fact.
do. Yeah,
Yeah.
Robin Williams. A lot of comedians end up do killing themselves because it's like that's not even enough. You can't. Even, so
Right.
no, it makes sense. Like comedy and cartoons because you almost don't take it serious because it looks some type of way. So you're able
Mhm.
to get away with so much more
Right.
and communicating, you know, like the future, especially with the Simpsons. That's just
Right.
crazy.
No, yeah, Simpsons is like, they ain't been wrong yet. I'm like, yo, where are they getting this info from? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, down to like, you remember
Trump,
yeah, like, I mean, all his stuff, all that stuff, you like, yo, what's going on here? Like, you know what I mean? The
yeah,
Simpsons,
it's simulation, bro. That's what
yeah.
that's. Yeah, that's nothing. Elon, it was like that. The merger or like the advancement of AI will allow us to ask better questions when it comes to just the reality of the world. And I think
Hmm.
that's fascinating, man, because it really is. It's all about asking better questions. I think
Yeah.
with AI and technology being able to like almost repurpose our our lives in
Hmm.
so many different ways. But like, yeah, the questions you ask is going to dictate the type of answers that you
Hmm.
look for. So,
Hmm.
yeah, man, you gotta watch it. Watch
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna check that out tonight. I'm on that
Yeah,
for real.
yeah.
I'm on that.
Tucker and Mark Cuban went at it. That
Yo,
was fun
he
to watch.
iced him though
On the
on that
Ukraine.
clip you sent me. I said, oh, he iced him. He's like, yo, why you not sending money to them though? Well, I'm trying to self
And he
host
said it
here.
proudly, bro. He's like, no money. I was like, hey, Tucker's an OG. You probably CIA, but that nigga OG,
Nah, nah,
bro.
nah. Tucker, like he
He still
stepped his
hasn't
game up.
responded to Nick.
Oh, he hasn't. Oh wow.
Oh, he just
Interesting.
completely like, as far as I'm concerned, he has not
Yeah.
addressed any of those claims,
Wow. Wow.
the contradiction. But still, like, I definitely he has a lot of value. So we'll see.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
come out eventually.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, nah, that's facts. I mean, but just to circle back, man, I mean, the situation with Charlie Kirk, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's eye-opening because what it's doing is it's showing you that
yeah.
people are at a point now where anything that's said or done can send them over the edge. You know what I'm saying?
You're seeing
Yeah,
real life consequences to
right,
online rhetoric.
right,
Like you can't
exactly.
just say some shit online
Yeah,
anymore.
you can't.
Show up in real
Yeah,
life and pretend like you're not. Nah,
you
there's
got to
gotta be
stand
an
on it.
alignment.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And know what that could end up being. Like a lot of these influencers, I'm sure themselves right now. They're
Yeah,
all like, pray for him, pray for, but
yeah,
really, you know, they're probably like, oh,
yeah,
it
yeah.
got real. You know what I
It
mean? Like
got
when they say
real.
it
And
got
one of their
real,
own did it. Like another white person did it. That's what's crazy. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
low key a relief.
Yeah,
Because
it's big relief.
I think
I'm
if
like,
it
yo,
was
for
a
this,
nigga, it would have been over for us, bro. I swear to
yeah,
God.
yeah,
No. That's I'm not even gonna lie. That was low key. I was relieved. I was like, please, bro, please.
yeah, with the
The nigga looked
white
like the dude
girl.
from like Curb Your
Yeah,
Enthusiasm. He looked like the nigga
yeah,
from there.
yeah.
But
You know, if you, when you
thank
tagged
God.
around the name, this Ukrainian girl and Charlie Kirk, if that wasn't
Yeah,
the
that was
black
it.
guy,
That would have been done,
yo,
bro. We would have all had to we would all have to have shown up. It just been like,
yeah,
yo,
if the crime persists, right? I'm telling you, one of the solutions they're going to present is the purge. I'm telling you. And
you've been talking about
yeah,
this
I'm telling you, man, that's probably the last phase before
Civil
there's
War.
either civil war or a turnaround. You know what I'm saying? And to avert civil war, they may implement the purge. Again, there
Purge is
hasn't been a
crazy,
movie.
bro.
There
It's
has not been a
literally
movie. There hasn't been a movie Hollywood produced about possibilities that isn't happening. It's all
mm,
it all ends up coming to true in one shape, way, shape, or form. Like there's a movie back in the day called Soylent Green, where the movie is about them taking human remains and other stuff and reprocessing it and feeding the people this stuff. They
yeah,
just
bro.
found out that when they test the food got the meat that we buy at the grocery store. You know, that's why I try to eat halal as much as possible.
Yeah.
Is processed with human meat and humans.
Oh no, Alex Jones talked about this. Like when it comes to like McDonald's and all these fast food
Yeah.
joints, they're human meat. I mean, this is a conspiracy, actually, allegedly, but like when you trace it back to like Goyim and
Mhm.
children being sacrificed, and they say like, that meat is being processed and sent over, and
What
that is
conspiracy hasn't come true? Like,
Yeah,
you know
no,
what I'm saying?
that literally when I heard that and I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you selling a burger for $1? What cow? What
It's
cow? What part of a cow are you selling for a
for a
dollar?
dollar.
For a
Get
dollar?
out of here. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
get out of here, bro. That's insane.
Not
No,
happening.
no, no. That's what Soylent Green's about, man.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
an archive. It's 1970.
Yeah, but no, if you go
Yeah,
to the movies in the 70s and the 80s, you'll be like, nah, they was giving it up, like they was telling the truth. So that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I don't, like I said,
they
I don't
have
know.
to. It's part of the devil's. That's his way. He has to tell you
Yeah,
what he's gonna do. What's it
it's like
called?
giving disclosure allows
Yeah,
them to remove
and the accountability. We told you.
accountability. Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. It's part of the law, as far as
Yeah.
I know. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Soylent Green. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now
bro.
this is gonna be interesting. I don't know what the purge is crazy. Who's gonna host the purge? It's gonna be Mr. Beast.
Probably.
Probably.
Probably. Yo, you gotta think about it. Remember, they was floating the idea of having immigrants be on like a contestant show and like duke it out for citizenship or green card or visas.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, bro. It was a real thing, real idea. The White House was like, yo, maybe we could, turn
Like
this into like survivors or something like
entertain
that.
Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat type
Yeah.
shit.
Go Google it. Yeah,
Wow.
come right up.
No, no, I know. I was like, yeah, the Mr. Beast, like
It might be.
it only makes sense, bro. Eventually, people are not gonna be stimulated by what's the content, right? And if you're driven and you worship views and content, you're eventually gonna get to a place where, especially if society. I mean, how do you think you got the gladiators, bro? That happens over time. Like, if you're willing to
Right.
tolerate watching people in an octagon and damn near, it's going to take a few other people getting killed and the views go up, and like,
Exactly.
if you're
Exactly.
tied to the hip to like views and monetizing, eventually
Yep.
that's inevitable. You know what I mean? Eventually, you're gonna have Squid Games in real life,
Yep.
and people are desperate for money. And like, in my opinion, I feel like that's why we watch it, because we're like, it's almost believable.
Exactly. That's why I don't
That's
understand.
what makes it intriguing.
That's why I don't understand the masses of people who are just like don't understand certain things. It's like, yo, this stuff is in the movies. Like you can
Yeah.
look at the show Upload. Some stuff, bro, I ain't even watched yet. I got it slated to watch. Like one of the things I want to do is I probably might create like a review channel that coincides with what we're talking about, but just showing the movies and the TV shows that
Mm,
touch on it. Because you got like Upload. It's about upload. It's on Amazon. It's about uploading people's consciousness to the cloud when they die. You know what I'm saying? So
wow. That's very similar to the Ben Stiller show. What show is that got popular? Where they go to corporation and they get to like turn off their consciousness. Not Ben Stiller. No, is it Ben Stiller? What's the show on
I don't think it's
HBO
Ben
where
Stiller.
is that Ben Stiller?
Severance.
Severance.
Yeah, I've
Who's
been hearing about Severance. I got to check that out.
Severance was good. No,
Yeah?
that's good. They basically turn off their consciousness to work in the corporate life. And
Wow.
so there's a distinction between your corporate life and your personal life. And you don't
Wow.
remember either.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I know. It's wild.
Wow.
It's not Ben Stiller? Yeah, it is
Mm,
Ben Stiller. Yeah. No, he's the director. Yeah,
of
he produced it.
Severance.
Severance.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's phenomenal. It's a great show
Yeah. Okay.
in
Yeah, I
a
gotta check
very
that.
dark way, but like like you said, it's going to be a part of. Yeah, I mean, I don't even want to throw that out there.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
these
yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
interesting concepts. I mean, everything starts with an idea. I mean, everything around you was an idea at one point. And to think that, yeah, you got to be able to have a high tolerance for reality and possibilities on both
That's a
good and
fact.
evil. You know what I mean?
That's a
That's the only
fact.
way you'll be able to prepare yourself.
That's
Yeah.
a fact.
Nah, man. Like always, how do you want to end? Any
Um,
tomorrow clarity with all that's
man,
going on?
what I'll say is my last statement for everybody is, yo, just stay tuned because as you can see, each episode we're decoding, they're analyzing, they're providing synopsis, perspective, giving detail. One thing I like that you do too is you as soon as I say something, you go pull that joint up.
Oh
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
because
So
I
it's
want to
like,
know.
yeah,
I'm learning
nah, but
too.
the
Like this
fact
is
checking is excellent though. And
yeah.
I just want to let everybody know that, like, look, what we're attempting to do here is send out a frequency that corresponds with those who are of the same like mind, because
Mm,
it is this discussion that is the most beneficial for humanity right now. You know what I'm saying? The intersection of faith with science and technology and society and economy and how all of these things, the gender, all of these things have a one point of synergy that they're all connected through. And I think that moving forward for tomorrow in general is, and this is the hill I'm willing to die on, is that
Man.
this is the most important conversation that anybody could be having anywhere, in any
100%.
country, in any space on the internet. This is the conversation. So I just want y'all to stay tuned, continue to tap in and grow with us. And, at some point when we start taking calls and things like that, we'll have other people that's coming in and giving some valuable insight and have guests and stuff too. This is ground zero for the recruitment of the minds and the people who are going to set the foundations for taking humanity truly to a type one civilization. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Which is the billionaire conversation,
Yeah.
So I
No,
definitely want to
so
close with
well
that.
said. Yeah, well said. No, I agree. I agree. I think this is the platform for that. This is the bridge that is
Mhm,
necessary. Um, these conversations, the insights we're given is phenomenal. I mean, this is decades of work combined, and
mhm,
it, like you said, it touches on every aspect of the human experience.
mhm,
Right? We're not discounting, we're not dismissive of the financial, spiritual, the religious, social. I mean, they're all, like you said, interconnected. It's natural. Even the conversation we're having, even when it comes to entertainment,
mhm.
everything is one. And I think us bridging that and putting it together allows people to have a perspective and a framework that otherwise would lead to chaos. And I
Mhm,
think and confusion, right? And
right,
so our goal is to create clarity. These
mhm.
conversations are meant to give perspective that are not being presented online.
Absolutely.
And because we are not gaining anything from it other than sharing what we know. Like we all are
Exactly.
building our own side hustles. We're not
Right.
tied to it. We're not like
Right.
this is all just free
Yeah.
value.
That's the key. That's
And that's
key.
what keeps it sincere. That's what
Right.
keeps it pure as much as,
Right.
and that's intentional. And that's
Right.
important for them to realize and understand.
Yeah. No, that's poignant. That's very poignant. And yeah, like you said, I think that just my final statement, like you said, this is being done for that purpose of recruiting those minds. Like our monetization of things that's already taken care of.
Yeah.
This is ground zero for the real work that
Yeah.
needs to be done. So no, I agree 100%. And I
Yeah.
mean, I'm also impressed that every episode just keeps getting significantly better than the
I'm
last. Like,
enjoying it, bro. So I'm
yeah, like
showing up.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Yo,
Yeah.
like, nah, we're
Yeah.
getting to it. We're getting to it,
Yeah.
man. We're getting to it.
Mm.
So yeah, nah, definitely, bro. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah, no,
definitely
no,
my
I
final
agree.
statement. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
I agree. Nah, it's good. This is yeah, alhamdulillah. It feels blessed. It feels
Yeah,
good. It
alhamdulillah.
feels aligned because we've been having these conversations for
Yeah,
months,
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about it. We've shot, we've stopped because we really are focused on alignment. We really are
yeah,
focused on clarity and timing, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
really not rushing or forcing anything and
Right.
praying on it. And because this is powerful stuff. This,
Yeah, yeah,
as you
yeah.
can see with Charlie Kirk, you know what I mean? Like the stuff that we're presenting is real, and we're not, as you can understand, we're not biased. We're understanding of all perspectives, and we're just giving it to you. And we're flawed. We probably make
Yeah,
mistakes. We're learning as we grow.
yeah.
As we're having these conversations, we're going back. We're reflecting on it, AI and all. You know what I mean? Like that's happening. But yeah, this is because trust is everything. I think that's
It's
what we're
everything.
learning. It's everything. So if you can't be authentic and true, and then you won't get anywhere. So I
Yeah.
definitely think this has been fun, man. I'm enjoying it. This is
Yeah,
fun, man.
yeah, no,
This
no,
is
no,
this
man.
is good.
This is exactly what I had in mind when I was like, yo, I know this is exactly
The
what I had in
dynamic.
mind. The dynamic. I mean, like, it's literally taking our personal discussions and
Yeah,
putting it out there
inviting
to
them
y'all.
in.
You know what I mean? Invite
Yeah,
y'all into a billionaire circle. Because
yeah,
that's
really.
ultimately what this is. If we look at it from just an
But as
entrepreneurial
humans
lens,
first.
yeah, as humans first. But this is
Yeah,
what this is evolving
yeah,
to, because you only need the billions to address solving some of the problems that we need to in order to, get to a type one civilization. Yeah, I mean, let's keep it rolling, bro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So till
I'll wake
next
it.
time.
Till next
Like,
time,
salam,
bro. Walaikum salam.